Right, welcome back for part 9. My battery's doing alright, my microphone. Should be alright. So, first assembly then. Let's see how we go. So I've moved you around. Hopefully I won't get in the way too much. I've tried to give you some space there to see. So, quite luckily the stretchers just fitted. There was no fettling. By fettling I just mean planing off some of the excess to get them to fit in. They should fit quite loosely. You shouldn't be struggling with this. So let's see how we go then. In my experience, it's best to fit one end first, so both stretches into one end, and then you can just lift them up that end, slot them in, put the wedges in that end. We've got a little bit more work to do on the wedges. We'll go through that as well. Right then, so we'll start at the back. Wedge it gently. Turn it round at a bit of an angle. Give me a gentle tap. That's that end done. This other end. Slides in. The wedging is very important with the wedges. So you must understand that there's a 90 degree there. That must go flat at the lower point. The 10 degrees on the top face. There you go. Rock solid. And level as well. I'm not 100% sure about this chipboard laminate, this plastic coated chipboard table. What I'll do is for final assembly and storage, I'll take it down the garage where I've got a reference floor now. Woohoo! Got a concrete slab that is absolutely flat. What's next then? Oh yes, a bit more work on the wedges. So I want them sticking out an inch, so I've got a 1-inch chisel. I'll just reference that across there, mark out with a pencil. I'm going to number these as well, so I'm just going to put a pencil mark on the inside and outside faces, so I know where to write the number. Because we've got some heft in it now, I'm just going to saw these off. Get something a bit finer. Me Sharpie. Good old Sharpie. So this is the back, so this is 1, 2. Three. 4. 5. So I've got my pencil marks. Big fat number 1 there. 2. These weren't. I've just sawn these off, haven't I? While I'm here, I might as well just rasp off the. I've just rasped off the corners. Four. There we go. Now I know the other question you're asking. Is it square? And my answer is not yet. That one's beautiful. That one a little bit. So the results of the investigation are very slightly leaning in at the top, which is excellent, because I know the inside length is 43 inches. So when I fit the slab, what I'm going to have is I can mark the centre of the slab and then mark 21.5 each side, and put a batten across, and that a cleat underneath the worktop, and that will fit into here. So if I make it 19 inch wide, so as we drop the slab on, that will push these. There's a bit of play in there obviously, and that will give us absolutely square. And then when we can fix the slab top, things with this one's a plank top, it's only 1.5 inches. My slab tops are normally 3.5, 4 inches thick, and they're very heavy, and essentially they don't need heavily bolting. They're not really going to go anywhere. They just need to be stopped moving around. There's very little chance of them actually flipping over. They're that heavy. But with this one, slightly lighter, slightly different. And so by getting the centre line, getting the distances, putting the cleat across that will fit inside here, that will give us again another surface. So we'll glue and screw that on, take the glues out, dowel it, and then that will give us our a cleat that we can do the join the bench, the undercarriage to the plank top. I'm also thinking about, how are we doing for time so I don't ramble too much? I've got plenty of time, haven't I? I'm trying to keep each of these 20 minutes now. Is to a shelf. It's a lower shelf. So this is actually back to front now, because this is the higher. If you haven't told anyone about that, no, great. Shh, keep it under your hat, yes. This is actually the front. I mean, my numbering and my legs went a bit wonky as well, didn't it? Don't matter. That's well out, isn't it? So we're talking 1/2 inch, weren't we? Beautiful. So, in terms of the shelf we're going to have, I'll put another cleat at the back, and what I think I will do is make a removable shelf, so that we're not, when we come to disassemble it, we're going to have rails going across for the shelf. We don't want to be there. It's like when you make a bed and you've got slats and you have to screw down so many slats. We'll make a single piece removable shelf, and we'll put some dowels through the front, so the shelf just lifts out as a single unit, and then when we fit it, it'll just rest on the dowels that are sticking out. For material for that, what have I got left? Got some of these old 2x2s. So what I think I'll do with these, get the table saw out. What time was it? It's gone dark by now. I'll do that tomorrow. So I'll rip these in half on the table saw, and that will give us nice lengths to make slats for the shelf. They're rounded off already, so that'll be quite pretty. Don't know how many I need. How much have I got stock? That should be plenty, shouldn't it? We'll rip those in half, and then those will be our slats for the shelf. So we'll need another piece of, I think we can do this, can't we? So basically, the lumber I've got left, I'm just going to throw it at it and load as much on as possible with the gadgets and gizmos and shelves, and just to really bulk it out. So it'll be a very stocky little bench. It's already very stiff, and there's no wobbling in it. So I've also seen, I'm a bit of a workbench nerd. I don't know if you've noticed this, but I look on eBay for vintage workbenches. A lot of them now are converted into kitchen islands and whatever. But they're great because the carpenters generally made them themselves, and they've customised them. So each bench has been used by a generation or several generations of carpenters, and they've tweaked them. They've added their own little features. And one of the things I've seen, so the overhang, so when the bench top overhangs, they've made a little shelf on the outside so you can put load tools into it. So I might do that. And what else have I seen? Quite cute. Drawers. I've got again from Auntie Linda's Welsh dresser. I've got an old drawer left over, so that's probably a bit too deep. So probably what I could probably do on the table saw again is just cut this in half, 2/3. Might have to lose the handle. So a little drawer might be quite cute under the worktop. One of the problems I've found with drawers, though, maybe a deep drawer might be good actually, is that if you're using bench dogs through the top of the workbench or holdfasts, a drawer generally gets in the way, so you have to take the drawer out, do your work, fall over the drawer, curse, put the drawer back, and when you need it again you have to take the drawer, so you forget it's there, so you whack your holdfast through and think, hang on, oh yeah, there's a drawer in the way, so you have to lift it up, take the drawer out, do your work, fall over the drawer, put your holdfast away, put the drawer back in. Another one of the, talking to holdfasts, it's a plank top, it's only 1.5 inch thick, so traditionally holdfasts require a bench that's probably 2.5, 3 inch thick. I doubt whether and also generally a hardwood bench, because they're not very forgiving, these old holdfasts, so they do squish when you're hammering them down. There's a lot of pressure put on the worktop, and if this is spruce, so it ain't going to go down too well, and because it's very thin. One trick I've used in the past with quite a thin worktop is just to add extra buttons underneath where we're going to place the holdfast. So just put another board, another sticker, 3x2 or whatever underneath it, screw glue it on. When the glue's set, take it off, take the screws out, and then you can bore the holes for the holdfasts in, and you've got that extra depth just where you need it for the holdfasts. So there we go, that's me 3-minute ramble to fill up some time. So I'm going to see if we've got any light left. If not, I've got a big rip saw, we can just rip these down in half. So we'll make a shelf, and then we can start thinking about the slab top. What I did with this one, I pulled the assembly table all the way out just to get me closer to the camera. So I'm going to have to put the bench on the floor, push the assembly table back, and then start thinking about working on the plank top and getting that vise fitted. Alright then, see you later.